In today's episode, we're going to take you to some very interesting apps that'll help you in your real estate investing career. Stay tuned. In today's episode, we're going to talk about apps that'll help you find the owners of vacant or neglected houses. We're also going to talk about apps that'll help you establish what the rents are in a certain area. And then we'll talk about apps that help you find houses that are really, really good for simply flipping. We'll also talk about apps that will help you find the real estate marketplace and help you build a community. And last but not least, there's some apps out there that can help you build all kinds of lists. Buyers lists, sellers lists, you name it. So stick around. So when it comes to finding vacant or neglected houses, I like to use an app called DealMachine. It's a really great app and it involves driving for dollars. Let me tell you how it works. First, you download the app to your phone. Then you start driving for dollars. Now, if you don't know what driving for dollars is, that's when you jump in your car and you just start going down the streets of every neighborhood, every street, every neighborhood, and you start looking for abandoned or neglected houses. Now, what's cool about the DealMachine app is when you find a house that's abandoned or neglected, you can drop a pin on it in the app. And you just keep doing this all day until you have 80, 90, 100, 120 pins dropped. And then you can go back home and start to research these houses. When you get home in front of your computer, you start looking at all the properties that you pinned and you start looking up all the addresses. When you plug in these addresses in the app, you're going to find out all kinds of information about the property right from the DealMachine app. And if you're smart, you'll create a postcard that's all your own using the DealMachine app. How do you create a postcard that's all your own using DealMachine? When you pull up to one of those houses that's vacant or neglected, you simply get out of your car, grab your phone, do a little selfie with you in the foreground and that person's house in the background, and then you scroll over in the app and you say, yes, I want to make this a postcard out of this picture. And you click on it, and for about $1, that postcard is already on its way to the owner of record in the county courthouse records. It's a very unique postcard that this owner is about to receive. It's unique because you're in the picture, but their house is right behind you. Your postcard will probably be the only postcard like it. So if there's other people out there sending postcards, I want to buy your house, sell your house for cash, and all these other things, you'll be the only postcard that shows a picture of you with their house in the background. And that always stops them in the tracks. They'll be looking at the postcard going, that's my house. That guy was in front of my house. That guy went to my house and took a picture. You're different than the crowd. This is one of the reasons I really like DealMachine. There's a lot of reasons to like DealMachine, so if you want to learn more about it, just go to 1000houses.com/machine. And there we talk in depth about that app. There's another app out there that helps you establish the rents in an area. Now, a lot of people say, obviously, you want to establish the rents because if you want to buy rent houses or sell rent houses, you need to know what houses rent for. But I like Rentometer, and that's the app's name, Rentometer. I like Rentometer because I use the rents to back into my owner finance price. If y'all remember, I've been in the seller financing business for a long time. And how I establish the OFV, or the owner finance value, is by taking the rents and then putting it through this formula so I can establish a sales price. My buyer, after giving me a down payment, has a principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and servicing fee payment that's equal to what he was paying for rent, plus or minus a few dollars. So this is how I discovered Rentometer for myself, was I needed a quick way to establish what the rents are in this particular neighborhood that I'm looking at this house, because I need to figure out what I can sell that house for. And the first number in my formula is, what does this house rent for? And then the whole formula works from there. And once I know what I can sell that house for with seller financing, now I'm in a position to go in and negotiate to buy this house and make a profit. See, it's very difficult to negotiate to make a profit if you don't know what you can sell your house for, and Rentometer helps me do that. So I want to get the spelling right. It's Rentometer, okay? Rentometer.com. Go there. All you have to do is put in a street name or an address or a zip code, and it'll give you what the rents are. Now, it's not 100% foolproof, fail-proof, but it's most of the time, 98% of the time, it is very close, okay? So check it out, Rentometer.com. You can also find it at Amazon under Rentometer Express. All right, before we get to the next killer app I want to discuss with you, please, let's slow down, take a moment, and go over there and click on that like button and that share button. Let the world know that we're doing a good job, and share this channel with your friends, because not everybody knows we exist, and this will help us a lot, and it's a great free education for people, especially the ones just starting out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, then what are you waiting for? Let's subscribe. The next app I want to talk to you is from Connected Investors. And in this app, you join a community of real estate investors across the country that help each other. They have houses for you to buy, they have places for you to sell your house, and what's most important, if you ask me, is they also have opportunities to present your deals to find funding from private individuals. This is really important because without funding, nothing happens. I'm a big proponent of you've got to learn how to fund any and every property that you have, and you need to be able to do it quickly. So if you haven't done that, then this year let's concentrate on how to find funding so that you can buy and take down in profit on any deal that you find, and you don't have to wholesale things for a pittance. So to join this Connected Investors community with about 85,000 members, I want you to go to this URL right now and set up your page. You go to new.connectedinvestors.com/app. That's new.connectedinvestor.com/app. And there you can become a part of this community. And I think it'll help you, especially if you're new. There are so many apps, I could probably be here all day long. And it depends on the strategies that you use as to what apps you really need. But I'm going to take some time here to talk about, again, some more of my favorite apps. Another one of the apps I like is auction.com. This is where people go to auction houses. They have absolute auctions, and they have auctions with a reserve. Reserve meaning if the house doesn't get at least X amount of money, then the sale is off. So check out auction.com. Become a member there, sign up, and start getting notified of what's happening in your community. You can get notified about everything that's happening, but most of us don't want to know about everything. We only want to know about certain areas. So you just bring it down into the area that you're working, and when something comes available for auction in your area, you'll get notified. The next company I'd like to talk about is called LiveComm. LiveComm.com. It's one of my favorite companies. And the reason why it's one of my favorite companies is because I'm a 50% owner of it. As you've noticed, a lot of times an episode is sponsored by LiveComm. And that's great because LiveComm can do a lot for you. LiveComm is especially good at helping you build lists and for lead generation. LiveComm sells smart phone numbers for $2 a month a piece. These smart phone numbers will capture an incoming caller's phone number if they call from their cell phone number. So these smart numbers collect cell phone numbers from all the incoming callers. Now, what does LiveComm do with the numbers it collects? Well, every smart phone number has a text distribution list attached to it. So when an incoming caller calls from their cell phone, LiveComm recognizes that it's a cell phone, grabs the number, and puts it in a text distribution list that's associated with your LiveComm phone number. That means you can have phone numbers for all kinds of things, and you can track how things are doing just by looking at the number of people that have called. For instance, you could put up I buy houses cash all over the city in bandit signs, and you could pick a LiveComm phone number to put on every single one of those signs, the same number on 200, 300, 400 signs. And at the bottom it say call for a pre-recorded message, so you don't even have to answer the phone. You can make your pre-recorded message in LiveComm, on the app you have on your phone for Android or for iPhone. It's real simple. You pick the phone number you want to make a recording for, you hit record, you make your recording, you stop when you're done with the recording, and now that phone number is going to that recording. Once someone calls and starts listening to that recording, you will have their cell phone number if they call from their cell phone. And about 95% of the people, or 98% of the people now, are doing this by cell phones because these bandit signs are along the traveled path. Now, if you want to know when someone is listening to your recording, then you can go into LiveComm, choose the phone number you're interested in, and click on the Instant Call Connect button for that phone number. When the Instant Call Connect button is turned on for that phone number, anytime someone calls it and starts listening to the recording, you will get a text on your phone that says, someone from this phone number right here is listening to your recording about cash for houses, or whatever you named that phone number. If you name that phone number 123 Main Street, it'll say someone from this phone number is listening to your recording about 123 Main Street. If you named it I need money to borrow, it'll say someone from this phone number is listening to your recording about I want to borrow your money. So it's really easy and it's really, really effective. Today, personally, I sell about 100 houses a year. I buy and I sell about 100 houses a year. I average 4 days on the market right now on the last 100 houses. And get this, I don't ever put a sign anywhere at my houses for sale. I don't put one in the front yard. I don't put one around the neighborhood. I have no more signs. It's all because of LiveComm and the strategy that I use. So go to livecomm.com and remember how to spell it. It's LiveComm.com, as in live communication. Go there, watch the videos on the homepage, and learn how LiveComm can completely change your outlook on acquisitions and sales. Please, you'll love it. One last side note. On LiveComm, it's not just for real estate. Nail salons, hair salons, anything that deals with an appointment. Anyone who wants to know the phone number of any customer that called them, you would love LiveComm. So it's really for any business. I just happen to be an expert at using LiveComm for real estate, but I have known people and have been experiencing other businesses using LiveComm, and it's a fascinating tool. So no matter what business you're in, check out livecomm.com. Now the next subject I want to talk to you about, there's some apps and some services out there for skip tracing. It is a super huge need in the creative real estate investing arena. So we're going to talk about skip tracing. I want you to go to 1000houses.com/skip tracing and watch podcasts that I did there with a guy named Larry. Larry owns a skip tracing company and he's doing wonderful things for people. He can handle your skip tracing needs himself for a fee, or he can teach you how to set up and get your own skip tracing services at your own office. But please, don't try it by yourself. Being able to qualify for a high-level skip trace software is very difficult and very tedious, and it's very regimented. They just don't give this capability to anyone. And if you fail along the way, it'll be a long time before you get a second chance to reapply. You need to know exactly how and why to apply for a skip tracing software before you start doing it. Or chances are you're going to be turned down and you'll be held off for a long time, maybe forever. So check out 1000houses.com/skip tracing. So that concludes today's episode. I would like to end it by giving you a free copy of a chapter out of my book, My Life in 1,000 Houses, Failing Forward to Financial Freedom. This chapter is titled The Moat Theory, and I developed this theory because I was struggling with the idea of how do I fail but keep going forward. So in my book, Failing Forward to Financial Freedom, I spelled out exactly how I decided it was going to work for me. And it's beautiful because what I'm going to be talking to you about is how to fail without going under. You can fail forward. It's a very short set of pages, but I think you'll find it very interesting. Just go to 1000houses.com/moat. That's M-O-A-T, like a moat around a castle. I'm going to show you how to get your castle and your little village all protected by a moat. And then you decide how much risk you want to take, and you never have to lose the whole kingdom. All right. We'll see you in the next episode.